was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex
Corrupt
and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Hanti Jacobs. I've been a teacher for 34 years at the school where I went to, and that is Zeres near the Botswana border. I'm staying here in Hermanus now for the past 15 years, of which I am in Fynbos Park for 11 years.
My name is Nico van Rensburg. Used to be in Johannesburg, came to Hermanus about 16 years ago to retire, but it was actually to do my job that I always wanted to do, that's paint.
My name is Ida Barnard, and I've been living in Sandby, Hermanus, for the past 19 years, and I've also been working at SAFCA for the past 19 years as a hairdresser.
My name is Colin. I'm the manager of SAFCA, which is the Frail Care Centre attached to Fynbos Park, and I've been there as manager for 16 years.
My name is Margaret Herringshaw. I've been living here at Fynbos Park in Hermanus for the last 15 years. Before that, I was in Kenya, and I'm a nurse.
We came to Sandby because my husband always said he was in the army, and he always said he wants to come to the Cape one day when he retires. So we bought the beach cottage while we were still living up in Messina, right the other side of this country.
I came to Hermanus. I was never married. So when I got onto pension, I had to come to my sister living here, near her. And when they bought their first house here, it was in 1984. Here were 2 cafes we knew about. Here were 1 takeaway place where Stratis is now. And it developed quite a lot since 1984.
Hermanus used to be a fisherman's village. It's not anymore. It's almost a Las Vegas now. Pity, but we need that. We must make a living here. We have to sell things. We have to really have little shops like you've mentioned. It's still here, if you look around. But I think it's far more organized now.
In 1975, and it was a low point of my life. I had cut my bridges here, burnt my bridges, I think is the saying. And I was stranded in London. I didn't have anything to do. I didn't know what the future held. And then I had an inspiration, go to Hermanus, which was a good thing. Which was, a strange thought, but my wife finally agreed, although she thought it was really ridiculous. But the friend who had the cottage with whom we'd been to Hermanus previously, happened to be in London that time, and he said, well, if you really are going to Hermanus, you can use my cottage, and that's what we did. And we've been here ever since, and I'm very pleased to be here. It's been an absolutely wonderful 39 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's the best place to be. It's absolutely the best place to be. Although things have changed so much, it's still the best place to be.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to say that I really think has changed in the last 20 years, and that is that I work a lot in Zwielichle with the black folk there, and I think that they are learning that people respect them. It's taken a long time, but they need that respect. And the people that I work with, I'm trying to instill in them that they are very important people in the community.
Entrepreneurs, they have developed in the last 20 years or more because of the work situation and the creativity of the people.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is just amazing.
The combination of that we have, the African thing and the Western thing, will produce an artwork and I'm talking art, it's not just painting and sculpture, it's art. We'll produce an art that the whole world will look and say, but we can't believe this. You'll see that absolute original thing that's from the land, and then the Western thing with it. We do it in ballet, we can see that. My daughter used to do that. You can see the dark guy, the black or the brown, lifting this beautiful pink, almost butterfly up in the air. And then you get this splash from that African thing, the music, and the sound on the stage, and this butterfly next to it. The contrast there make my hair stand up.
And I mean, the change in medicine in 20 years is extraordinary. Laser surgery, that's just one little thing, and cancer therapy, which is tremendous compared with what it was. Cancer was, you're finished.
Yeah.
But not anymore. You don't have that. And the machines that cost millions are here in Hermanus.
Yeah.
And they just do a wonderful job. And of course, they've advanced greatly with the AIDS program as well.
My children are here, I'm lucky. I'm very lucky my children are here, but most people have their children overseas because of working conditions.
That's right. I've got a son overseas, and he has recently decided he's going to stay there. Why? Because he's got a good job, he's got a good standard of living, he's got a good future, but most important for him and his wife are the futures of his children.
Yeah.
He sees a better chance for them there than he sees for them here. And I think he's probably right, because one of the great things, one of the great disappointments for me in South Africa has been the uncertainty that has developed and the pessimism which is abroad. When 20 years ago the change over took place, we were all thrilled that it had happened without bloodshed, and it was great. But all the promises which were made at that time haven't materialised.
That's right.
For us, I mean, I agree, my standard of living and my enjoyment of life now is as it was then 20 years ago. But for the black people and the coloured people, I don't think you could say the same. And one
But
feels...
remember, everybody's got a cell phone.
Yeah.
They've all, the lady who works...
Is that a blessing?
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful.
And they know how to work it.
They
I
do.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can...
That's another thing with people having their children overseas. Technology changed our lives so that they can talk to their children on Skype and all that. Even if we don't all understand how to work those things, because we don't all understand. And I find that lots of older people even find it hard to make a telephone call, say to the bank, because there comes a voice that says you must choose an option. Most older people are a bit hard of hearing, so they don't hear what these options are. They get such a fright that they don't know, and they just put the phone down.
The change of technology is so rapid, we're going to get left behind, even if we try to keep up.
Our children's children, those are the ones that we are worried about, because we're all right. Even if Malema comes into power now, it's not going to worry us too much. But
I say the only person in charge really is God.
Yes.
And so, therefore, if Malema comes in power, I remember in Kenya we were terrified about Kenyatta coming into power. And he was a wonderful president in many ways. I mean, he did some horrible things, but he was an excellent president with great charisma. And I say, Malema's got a lot of charisma, probably more than some of the others. But I haven't met the chap, so I don't know.
Well, God is the God of Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And he allows Mugabe to run the place to ruin. And much as my faith is in God personally, and I know I will survive come what may, I can't believe that South Africa in 10 years' time is going to be recognisable from the South Africa of today, because I think it is on a downward path, and I can't see it reaching a turning point. I think we're going right to the bottom.
It won't be good for us to lay awake during the nights because of what is going in the future. We can't change it one by one, but we can do what we can do. That is vote and things like that, where we can do our part and be positive.
Well,
We must be
I think back of, after the First World War, everybody thought, oh my goodness, now the whole country is gone, there's nothing left. And they stood up, and they carried on, and they went on fine. Came the Second World War, oh my goodness, there go all our men, we've got no men anymore. And the country stood up again, and here we are, waiting for the Third World War, and we will always be standing up. No use running away.
It's been like this all over, right from the beginning. History repeats itself.
But what is a bit worryful at the moment is gangsterism and drugs.
Yeah.
Young children going on to drugs and the gangsters, and it's become so common that the police don't really try to control it anymore, because it's just become too much. And I suppose that's also a way of living for some people. But it's become a real worry to see how people bury their own lives.
But you know, once again, it's been like this before, and we just have to stay positive and do.
But not to such an extent.
We just have
not to
to.
such an extent
Yeah,
as
but with
nowadays.
more
because
people, there are more problems, of course. But let's see the problems as uitdagings, challenges.
challenges.
We sometimes write to the newspaper, maybe. We sometimes get on television, maybe. Generally speaking, our lives are led privately, but physically seen and publicly seen. And in the way we live, as been said before, there is a message. Is he honest? Is he a decent man? Has he got integrity, and so on and so forth? And that shines through, or the blackness comes through. So we are seen, we are heard, but in a very muted sort of way, I would say.
I also like that when you come, like in Pick and Pay, and I once was there, and one of the coloured nurses and one of the black nurses, and all three of us hugged each other. And I find it so fulfilling that people are not on their hind legs anymore the moment you speak to them. You know, nowadays you speak to somebody and they'll talk back, and we have a conversation. We stand in the queue to go through the till and we have a conversation with everyone, doesn't matter who or what they are. I love that.
My dream is that the education in the schools must return, or not to the way it was. Paul Kruger, he was one of the past presidents of South Africa, said, take out of the past what is good and build your future on it.
There's one thing that I really want to see, and I've tried already to do something about it, not successfully. I think we need more entrepreneurs.
My dream also is to see my grandchildren grow up and still being able to live in South Africa and make a living in South Africa.
I have to say, in all honesty, I don't have a dream. I'm living a dream, in a sense, as we've been saying here in Hermanus. It's just wonderful. And if I dream anything, it's that I am allowed to go on living here for the rest of my life.
I think my dream, I would love to see more equality and not such a huge divide between the rich and the poor.